يوديني. بس لما عرف كده شافني لغايه انا ما رضيتش اخد مليم. قال لي ربنا معاك يا امي. اتبهدلت يا راجل. قالوا لي حيضربوك بالنار، قلت لهم لا السيسي مش بيضرب الشعب بالنار. عمر السيسي ما يضرب اهله بالنار. صح ما ضرب، اخذني في حضنه ما ضربنيش بالنار. كان قادر يضربني بنار ارهابيه. لا عليك ربنا يطول عمرك وينصحك ويصبرك يا حب. سلم ايديك. انا جيت هنا عشان كلهم يعرفوا اني انا مش كذاب، كل وزاره الصحه كذاب. السيد المحافظ واحنا ما بنعرفش لو وقف، لكن مفهمينه صوره ثانيه خالص. وده راجل غريب مش من البلد ما يعرفش حاجه عنه. اللي بيفهموه له هو اللي بالنسبه له صح.
When I went to some people about a certain case, they said no, those people went to the prosecution office. They are the ones who caused a lot of problems to me and do not want anything. I do not want money or medicine. I just want my right. I want to live as a human being. I want my children to be proud of me. Of course, it's your right. You are the first president to protect the dignity of the Egyptian woman. That's why I insisted on coming to meet you. It's an honor to meet you. No, it's my honor, President. Let all these people you know, these people here are very poor. People love you. Thank you very much, and I do not want to keep you from going to your tour. Where is the paper? The paper, I want to receive your paper. No, I gave the paper to the Army Club. They received it from me over there. Okay, I will take it. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. May Allah protect you.
الحاجه اللي بعد كده ان الدستور حط هذه المجالس.
The Constitution has included these local authorities in the executive chapter. This means that the local committees are not just for remote follow-up, but they are part of the executive authority. They are a full partner with the executive authority. They put the plans, set the regulations, implement, as well as holding the executive authority accountable if it does not implement things agreed upon. This means that this is not just a matter of remote follow-up, but full participation in the executive authority. Your Excellency, the Minister, when we talk to the young people in villages, they always say that villages and municipalities are far away and they do not participate in the political life. The Ministry of Local Development, the Ministry of Youth and Sports do not help them to be a member of the parliament on the medium term or the long term. No, there are things that are done now by the state, like the cooperation between the Ministry of Local Development, the Ministry of Social Solidarity, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports to train the youth on local councils' work, and they have received the training, and they have received training of trainers so that they would be trainers afterwards to train other people, so that they would know what are the local councils, what are their capabilities, what they can do, so that they would be able to participate. In the past, the local centers and the local councils did not used to play any role in the past, but now they have authorities by law, and they have a part of the resources of the governorate as well as the village, the city. Part of all these resources are allocated so that they would plan the projects needed in the village or the city. So they have a very big executive role to play in participation as well as monitoring the executive authority. So this role is the role that would make the youth be able to play this, especially when they find that this is the truth, this is a constitution and a law that should be enforced. The participation then increases. What we are saying, in addition to encouraging the youth to participate, we always say to the youth, these are a lot of authorities, and we tell them when you want to shoulder this responsibility, you need to be well educated, well trained, and to acquire enough experience, and the people who elected you would know that you are a partner. You cannot keep telling them that it's the governor who did not do it because you are partners. Like exactly what happened now before the president, a problem was raised in front of the president with regards to the drainage. Yes, people would identify that you are responsible, so those who elected you would hold you accountable. And I think that this shows seriousness, and everyone would understand that he has a role to play, and if he won't play this role, he is going to be held accountable, as we do now. He who elected you will hold you accountable and will tell you whether you played your role or not. My last question, Mr. Minister, I won't be lengthy. The complaint we always receive in localities comes from the officials who are below the big official, like the head of the city, of a center. In fact, those are the ones who do not play their roles. They do not deal with the citizens, and unfortunately by the end of the day it's the governor or the minister who is blamed. How would we deal with such a case? Because we want to have a deterring accountability. You have been selected to be in this post so as to play a service role for the citizen in your governorate. What you are saying is true, but it has a number of solutions. First, we need to monitor the performance of all people, and you are following up what we are doing now in the Ministry of Local Authorities and the Local Development. You will find that we found a lot of cases of embezzlement, and we have held the people accountable and detained them because there is zero tolerance with such things. And we were here in Aswan a month ago, and we've introduced the computer to the services provided to the citizens to facilitate and accelerate the provision of services and to reduce also any contact between the employee, the civil servant, and the citizen to avoid corruption. The last and very important thing is we have a lot of civil servants more than needed. Having local councils in villages and cities would play this role in monitoring, supervising the services provided, because the governor won't be able to visit every day all villages and cities. So the local councils are there in the village, the city, the governorate, and they are there every day, and they monitor the performance of every civil servant, and they can report about any civil servant who does not play his role. So real and serious community participation is the guarantee to better services. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed Zaki Badr, the Minister of Local Development. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, we are still with you through these interviews for the Egyptian television. A number of events are taking place here in Aswan Governorate. My colleague Ahmed Bakir has other interviews to make. Thank you, my colleague Mohammed. A lot of events taking place on the sidelines of this conference for receiving ideas and proposals to come up with a final model for supporting the youth and enabling them to participate. The session on youth participation in politics and political empowerment of the youth, especially for the coming local councils elections are going on. One of those young men is Dr. Nader Mustafa, the member of the parliament, and he participated in the previous session and he presented a lot of ideas and visions during the session. Welcome. Thank you. During the session, you raised a lot of ideas on youth empowerment in the political life and the public life. What are the most important ideas? I have a remark that the next localities elections would play a very important role in youth empowerment. I've presented a working paper to the secretariat of the conference, as I believe that the youth conference, when the president himself directs all the state institutions to support the youth so as to give them the opportunity to play a bigger role, be it through training or giving them the opportunity. As what happened today, we as Egypt are standing by the youth. The state now, through the constitution, the law, is keen on a real effective participation in the coming local councils elections, because there are a lot of articles that give the opportunity to the local councils to do interpolations as well as withdraw confidence, exactly like the parliament. So now you are training the youth to start from the local councils so that in the future they would be able to be members in the Egyptian parliament. No doubt the 50% is allocated for the women and the youth, 25% for women and 25% for the youth. So I think that through this they would be able to participate in the local councils, and also the Christians can participate along with people with disabilities. So we will have new local councils that are totally different. The current draft bill discussed in the parliament discusses this. All the committees finalized discussing the localities law, and in the near future it would be presented to the general meeting of the parliament. And I think that very soon we will find localities law that would play a strong role in political participation. Political participation would enable us to include more citizens in the political process, and they would be able to understand what the problems are. The president talked about the impressions that we need to face. We have the impression that there is corruption in the localities. We have the impression that the citizen won't participate. But God willing, according to the new vision, the new law, and this effort for more participation, we will have strong participation for the youth, through which the youth would be able to see things as they are really. And then the youth would understand that things are not as we think, and not like the challenges we are facing. When we see all these conspiracies, and as the president said, a lot of countries now would like to see Egypt in a crisis. We have young people who are aware of this, who are keen on participation. I've presented some suggestions. So if this conference is as successful as it is, when we give training courses for the presidential program for leadership, and give the opportunity to the youth to know information from the ministers and officials in the government, why don't we repeat such an experience? Why doesn't each governorate through the governor and the executive personnel do it? Why don't they with the youth, listen to their opinions, problems, participate in decision making. So when the young man participates in decision making, he would identify what's the problem. And he won't be a victim to any ideas that would like to raise desperation amongst people. When the youth would participate with their ideas, we would be missing only a few things, like education. If we would give the opportunity to the school students and pupils to participate in simulation of the localities' elections. Since the year 2011 up till now, there is a vacuum. And the citizen cannot find a local council that would protect his rights and provide him with services. I think this vacuum is going to be filled soon, and we would have strong local councils. So I think that the students and pupils in schools should do simulation for this. The pupils in primary and preparatory schools should do this at different levels, the level of the village, the city, the governorate, especially that the youth today have an opportunity. This is the one point I wanted to ask about. You are a member in the parliament, in your constituency. How do the youth see this effort? Do they have enough enthusiasm to participate in the coming local councils, authorities? Did you find this in your constituency? Yes, it's there in all constituents. I find that they are young people who are preparing themselves, looking forward to be part of the localities. They want to make the citizen feel that he has a role to play in public life. I met a lot of youth nationwide who want to be part of this new local council, and in light of the new law and the good governance of the country, we would be able to achieve governance in localities, and we'd be able to achieve also decentralization at the political and economic levels in the near future. And they emphasized the idea of political participation because we do not want people to feel desperate or frustrated. Thank you, Mr. Nader. These information discussed during these sessions were very useful. We have Munir Gamal, the youngest speaker. He is a graduate from the Faculty of Political Sciences and Economy, and he is the youngest participant in this session. Yet he has a big vision. Welcome, Mr. Munir. Would you tell us how do you see the state concerned with the youth, and what is your feeling and your impression when you were talking on a podium along with the governors, the ministers? Talk to us about this impression. I just wanted to correct a piece of information. I'm not graduated yet from the Faculty of Political Sciences and Economy. I'm in the first year. The point that you've added means that you are not a graduate, you are still in the faculty. Yes, I've seen this. The state now is giving concern to the youth, and this is done honestly. Our presence today, and as you said, along with the ministers, and the session is on air, and you express your opinion, and everyone is listening to you. This is a very positive change. The state started in the year 2016 when the president announced the Year of the Youth, and during this year, 2 initiatives were launched. The first is that of the ministry, and 250,000 youth nationwide participated in it, and there were a lot of simulation models between the youth and the local authorities and the local officials to discuss a number of issues and to raise solutions. The second initiative was the initiative of our future allies in our hands, and this was done in cooperation between the Ministry of Local Development, Ministry of Social Solidarity, and Ministry of Youth. And in this initiative, a large number of youth participated. The objective of this initiative was for those ministries to train those young people to be trainers so that they would raise the awareness of other youth afterwards, so that we can raise the awareness of as large number of youth nationwide. And the state incurred all the costs for these two initiatives, and this shows that the state is very much interested in the participation of the youth, and we have seen that the state now recognizes the role played by the youth in development and political participation. Thank you, Mr. Munir. As we have seen, dear viewers, that the age does not make a difference. We have seen on the podium young people. Mr. Munir Gamal, he is still in the first year of the Faculty of Political Science and Economy. Continuous discussions is what makes this conference a success, and this enables developing public policies. We are going on along with our coverage, and now we will be joined by our colleague Mohammed Hilmi, and he has more details on the sessions of this conference.
Sessions of the successful conference participated by 1,300 young men and women from the Upper Egypt region. We have now the governor of Sohaj, one of the promising governors of the Upper Egypt. Please, Dr. President, we've already seen lots of challenges, problems that the proper Egypt governorates are facing. Can you just elaborate about your perspectives on the problems of the governorates of Sohaj, and to what extent of the facilitation being presented and provided to the investors? I'm very pleased to have you here. Aswan's governorate is very beloved governorate. I'm very pleased to have the visit of the president upon the taking the office to us, just the instructions by the president to have inside visits. Based on that, to lay our plans, try to develop and raise the quality of services provided, whether they are economic, agriculture, and such, adding to the good linkage between us as officials and the citizens. And most important is to provide investment opportunities and the good optimizations of industrial zones. We have already 4. I would like to say that through the last 2 years, most of the infrastructures being provided, installed, and finally we have the cement factory. We had Al Masriin's manufactory added to the other manufacturers who were in place and suspended before. In fact, through the dialogue with the whole investors, we've already created the proper solutions. So we've given them all the solutions that they need, because we are raising a slogan in the Sohaj is just to have a smile before the investors and to facilitate all the problems, because they give a full and general confidence to the government. So it was required to have a change of the picture, because he's not just an investor, he is a partner with the state to provide opportunities to produce a product with good quality. Therefore, we can export and provide foreign currency. The investment in Sohaj is very promising, and we've already opened to the SMEs our young people are very good in investment and trade. All the handicrafts that everybody used to hear about in textiles and carpets, we are making in a manufactory in Sohaj. Quite soon we have met with Mrs. Sahar Nasr, the Minister of International Cooperation. So once I've visited, I've been told that the citizen have already requested other things that we needed. Therefore, upon that, we've already prepared, because hopefully in the month of February, we're gonna do or organize an exhibit of made in Sohaj products, as well as the agricultural leftover, instead of just get it burned and pollute the environment. We've already used this to make in manufacturing of wood stuff, and it's been exported abroad. I would like to say that once we get a very pressed wood, it needed to have some sort of a layer. So it was a solution to send it to other governorates. Later on, we've made another manufactory of what's left over from the banana productions and the crops, and then they've told us to do the materials that we use to glue these layers on the pressed wood products. Today, these plants brought another third investor to create the MDF type of woods that has been used for the furnitures, as the night governorates do in the city for the furnitures. They are making the furniture in a good shape, even though they used to work illegally. Therefore, we've already allocated 70 feddans, and we've made some sort of a company to produce glasses. Most importantly is to gain credibility between the governments and the people, to clear the idea and the perspective and the mindset that all the governorates of the Upper Egypt is marginalized. We would like to say that tomorrow is going to be better for the citizens of the Upper Egypt through a clear vision. And I hope to have such meeting and gathering every month that produce fruits. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Of course, dear viewers, lots of achievements have been explored, examined throughout.
من أول يوم فتحنا علينا في الدنيا وجينا بنلون ونشخبط بإيدينا وبنرسم، يعني الإبداع كان مولود فينا لحظة ما وعينا.